What's up, space pirates? This is your Admiral, the chronically charismatic Dr. Disaster. And I'm not sure why this is so hard for some people to learn, but when you represent a business, the best way to address customer concerns is to demonstrate how good your product is. It is not a good idea to argue with your customers.
Customer's always an asshole!
I've worked in customer-facing jobs before. It's really difficult to do, but what you don't do is this right here. Doug Cockle, the voice actor for Geralt in the Witcher video games, has come out and said that anyone with concerns about the direction of The Witcher with Ciri as the main character, if you're concerned that the new game is gonna be woke, well, he thinks you're stupid.
I shouldn't have said that. I should not have said that.
Mr. Cockle has a bit of a history with saying shit that he shouldn't recently. You might remember that a few months back, he got in trouble with CDPR for speaking out in a podcast and letting the cat out of the bag that Geralt wasn't going to be the main character in the next game, but he was going to show up in the next Witcher game as kind of a side character. The developers had to give him a public slap to get him to stop talking.
Shut up!
Well, now I'm willing to bet that CD Projekt Red is once again wishing this dude would shut his damn mouth, because he's inviting more discourse on the subject. Gamers have been understandably concerned that Ciri was taking over as the main character of the game in a culture where so many of these studios turn female characters into infallible girl boss replacements of the male characters we once loved. Now, we have long noticed that one of the primary characteristics of wokeness has always been an antagonistic attitude toward anyone who isn't a true believer. Therefore, if anything, this little tirade that the Geralt voice actor went on makes me concerned even more that the game might be woke, and it makes me suspect that he is as well.
Yes, it's true. This man has no dick.
Alright, me hearties, make sure that you hit the like button on this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and also, please consider supporting the channel by becoming a member. Audiobook of a dark fantasy novel I've written is currently available for members only, and there's also a space pirate cartoon that I'm working on. The thing is, we can't just complain about what we don't like in our culture, we have to provide alternatives to the mainstream crap, where the makers clearly hate normal people. So, I humbly ask that you consider supporting the channel for as little as $5 per month, because I assure you that I will not call you stupid like the Geralt voice actor. Anyhow, let's talk about this Witcher 4 debacle. Let me start by saying I'm still hoping that the game ends up being good. It has been damn near a decade since I played a Witcher game, but I did enjoy them, and I'd really like to get a chance to try a new one. I have not made it a secret that I am of the opinion that Ciri's face has been purposely uglified in the Witcher trailer that we were shown last December. It's possible that they end up fixing it so that she looks less manly and has a feminine facial structure like she used to have when her younger face was portrayed, but I am not a fan of this first bit of the game that we've been shown. It's possible that the whole thing ends up being great when it's done, and I sincerely hope that it is great, but shit like this does nothing to assuage my concerns, and in fact, it just makes me more concerned. Let's read what the dude had to say. This article is from thegamer.com, and of course, they revel in the fact that this guy is attacking regular people. One thing I will note about the discourse here, though, is the fact that people are doing everything in their power. Both the journalist that wrote this article and the voice actor are doing their best to avoid being labeled woke. As recently as a year ago, these same studios, these same game journalists were happy as could be to label themselves as woke. They wore it as a badge of honor. Most of them claimed that woke was just having females or people with different skin colors in games. They refused to engage with our actual arguments, but now the culture has shifted so far away from them that they're doing everything in their power to avoid the term and to avoid being labeled like that. It has become a cancer that everyone avoids, and my overdeveloped sense of Schadenfreude makes me grin to think that these people are forced to disavow what we all know that deep down they truly believe. Anyhow, with that all in mind, let's read this article. CDPR announced The Witcher 4 at last year's Game Awards with a wonderful cinematic trailer which depicts Ciri, now a Witcher, doing battle with a creature called a Bauk. It hits all the right notes. Grim, dirty, and hopeless, 3 words that sum up much of the setting. If it wasn't clear enough from the trailer, CDPR also confirmed that Ciri will be the game's protagonist. Although many fans saw this as a natural progression for the series, others are annoyed that Geralt is not reprising his role as the story's protagonist. There's also the usual crowd, who say that having a woman protagonist is woke, but the arguments of those people are hardly worth considering. And if you look at that header right underneath, they're saying that this is a literacy challenge. If you dare to disagree with their viewpoint, it's because you must be illiterate. Once again, they are not engaging with what we are actually saying, they're just insulting us. And these pompous, self-righteous schmucks wonder why we hate them so much, why we don't trust game journalists. But let's read on. It would appear Geralt's voice actor Doug Cockle agrees, as he expressed this sentiment in a recent video from Fall Damage. In the video, Cockle is reacting to comments and memes created by Witcher fans. One of these posts references the number of people who spammed woke when Ciri was unveiled as the game's protagonist during the Game Awards. I think that's just stupid, Cockle says. It's not woke, there's nothing woke about it, it's a cool character from The Witcher, and they're going to focus on that character. I think that's awesome. We can't just have Geralt for every single game for The Witcher ad nauseum through eternity. Or, here's a thought, maybe you shouldn't make Witcher games ad nauseum throughout eternity. Maybe it's not our fault for liking what we like in the Witcher universe, so maybe when the Geralt story is done, if you don't want to do anything more with him, then let it rest. Unless, of course, you don't have any more good ideas, which seems likely. But the dude carries on here saying, I celebrate Ciri. I celebrate her being the protagonist. Oh, what a good little feminist. He celebrates it, guys. What a hero. Sure makes me think it's woke, though, because that is the heart of wokeness right there. You can't just make characters if you're woke. You give them certain immutable characteristics on purpose, and then you celebrate them. That is how you woke. And I'm not saying the game will be woke for sure, but the dude is not helping his cause at all. But he continued, so all the people who think it's woke, if you read the books, then you understand why CDPR went down this avenue. There's a whole rich world of stuff to explore with Ciri that they didn't do when they put her into Witcher 3 because the story was about Geralt. If you think it's woke, read the damn books. Well, I did not personally read the books myself. I was never that much of a fan that I would take the time to read the books. I liked the games, just not as much as some people did. But there are a bunch of people out there who have read the books and who make pretty interesting arguments about the idea of a female Witcher being nonsense. There's lore in the books, from what I understand, which says that no female had ever survived the Trial of Grasses, that they couldn't survive the Trial of Grasses, which, that's what turns someone into a Witcher. Geralt would never allow Ciri to undergo the trials, even if he suspected she was a unique case that could somehow survive it. And she wouldn't need to in the first place. She had power already. Making her into a Witcher seems like the storytellers fitting a square peg into a round hole. They could have done something wholly different and unique if they had just let Ciri be Ciri. But no, it seems to me, at least from the outside looking in, that what they've tried to do is transform her into a female Geralt. Now, I'm sure there are ways that all of this could still work, but the point that I'm trying to make is that there are legitimate concerns from people who have read the books, thinking that maybe CDPR is turning the game into something that we won't like. There are legitimate reasons to think that maybe they've made it woke, but I'm gonna leave it there. What do you make of this guy spouting off shit like this? Drop your thoughts into the comment section below, and we will talk there. Thanks for watching me, Hearties. If you haven't already, your Admiral is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.